So Crystal, what's new? What you been up to since Dana White's Contender Series?
I took like a full-blown vacation, which I haven't done in a super, super long time. How's the lighting? How are you doing right now? Can you see everything?
Oh yeah, yep.
Hang on a second. Before we super get started, I want to make sure that we're good.
At least you got a better background than I do.
I used to have a bunch of plants and stuff, but then they all got moved. So.
Oh, that's all right. But yeah, welcome to the show here. Are you still in California? Are you in Ohio? Whereabouts are you?
I live in LA, but I
Okay.
moved here from Ohio. So I'm from Ohio originally.
Okay.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I want to ask you about exotic dancer career, but then again, I know that's been probably a question you've been asked so many times. Um, so what I guess I just want to kind of clarify what exactly that is.
Yeah, it's a stripper. So,
Okay.
yeah, an exotic entertainer, a stripper, a dancer per se. So,
Hmm.
pole dancer, aerialist, all of those kind of like fall under the umbrella of I'm a stripper. So,
Right.
yeah.
Now, are you still currently doing that as a side gig or no?
I have not been dancing since the pandemic happened.
Hmm.
And I went over to Phoenix because they were like the first state to like open up. And I danced out there for like a weekend or two. And I was like, you know what? Like, I just like, I have the means to not need to dance right now. And I'd like to focus 100% on being a fighter.
100%. Yeah, I mean, I think that's something that I know some people don't really have the ability to have that option. I know some people have to work a side job or a side gig, and they have to have some kind of side hustle to pay for the training or whatever the case may be. With the times being so tough, right? But if that's something that you're able to do, I mean, great for you. I mean, now you're able to 100% focus on your fighting career, and that's great to hear.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been a blessing. Unfortunately, that the pandemic happened, but for me, it was like the best thing that ever happened. It forced me
Hmm.
out of the industry. It literally like freed up all of my time to be able to focus. Like I've
Hmm.
been flourishing via this like horrible thing, this horrible tragedy that's happened worldwide. But
Hmm.
it's been the best thing that's happened to me.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I just want to kind of move quickly forward here. So what made you get into MMA in the first place?
Actually, it's kind of funny because as a dancer, I was like extremely good at the pole, right? And I always
Hmm.
looked at pole tricks as like something to like obtain. Like I need to learn this, I need to learn that. And I'm very explosive. So
Yeah.
someone was like, if you took that same energy that you put towards the pole and put it towards fighting, you might do something with your life.
Hmm.
And I was like, well, fucking teach me how to fight. So that's literally how it happened. Like someone was just talking shit to me and I was like, well then, like, put up or shut up, And it happened from there. I started training Muay Thai. I fell in love with it. And then we helped build an MMA gym, but I didn't still had no interest in fighting MMA. I had no
Right.
interest in jiu-jitsu at all. And started training jiu-jitsu and just kind of happened from there.
Oh, right on. Yeah, I like that. Well, and it's interesting, you're used to grabbing the pole, you're used to flipping around on it. I mean, I guess a human's not that much different. I mean, you're basically a lot of the movements are kind of the same now that you think about it. I mean, especially with some of the arm bars that you've done, those were incredible. Like I can't remember which fight it was. I think it was the title fight one was pretty good too, but I think the last armbar you did on I can't remember her name, but it was just one of the slickest armbars I've ever seen.
Yeah, her name was Nadine, and it was
Okay,
for the LFA. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, that was probably one of the slickest armbars I've ever seen.
Dope. Thank you. I love arm bars.
So would you consider yourself more a grappler versus striker? How do you go about that?
Yeah, and I don't like to define myself, but it's very obvious that I'm definitely more of a grappler than a striker. But it's like
100%.
I work so hard on my striking, and it shows. You know, it's been progressing, but definitely a stronger grappler overall. And I think that, like you said, that comes from the pole dancing. You know, it's like situational awareness and understanding body mechanics.
Well, and I mean, there's a lot of people that come from different talents or different sports or whatever they're doing. I mean, if you take Alexander Volkanovski, the guy was in a totally different sport, you know, in rugby, and then went from rugby, and he was weighing like 225 pounds, and now he's fighting at 145. I mean, that's crazy, and totally different sport.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I feel like, you know, if you have like a principle of success and you like understand what it is to overcome adversity and work hard, you can carry that into any field of life, you know, and create greatness there. So yeah, it's really cool when you see like multiple sport athletes just like transition.
Oh, absolutely. And bringing up that point about facing adversity. So, do you find that as something that's really important in a fight?
100%. You know, keep it honest. You're not always going to be in a dominant position. You're not always going to be the aggressor. You're not always going to be somebody who's, you know, pushing all of the pace all of the time. So you have to know what it's like to be uncomfortable and to turn that around. You know, you got to know what that's like internally. You have to go through that. And that only comes from experience. You know, that's not
Hmm.
something that you learn on the fly. Like you either fucking got it or you don't got it, you know, and that's a huge
Yeah.
it factor that some people have, some people just don't.
Yeah, and I think that's what champions are made of. I mean, to be a champion, you have to be the best of the best. But you also have to learn to and I think and I don't want to like crap on any fighters that have been in this situation, but you have to lose a fight or to really to know what it's like to lose, to know that okay, you know what, I'm not like I'm this unstoppable train. Eventually, someone's gonna have your number. And I like to look at it as more not a loss, but a learning curve, I guess. You learn or you win.
Yeah, yeah, but unfortunately, it is a loss too.
It
You
is.
know, yeah.
On the
You
record,
know,
it is.
it's not like on your record it says like she learned a lesson. Like no, it says lost. So,
Yeah. Yeah,
but
unfortunate.
I do have that saying, you know, like, okay, what did I take from this? And it was a learning experience and all of that. But at the same time, like some things are just life. You know, like
Mhm.
sometimes like it fucking happens and. Um, that's life that you lived. You know, I think a lot of learning needs to happen in the gym. That way you don't lose in the ring. But when you do, you better fucking learn from that shit, you know, and you better move forward from it. Otherwise, you could just quit today. You know, like there's no point
Absolutely.
moving forward if you're not learning, period. But yeah, fucking loss is a loss.
Well,
It's so
and that
unfortunate, but it's so true.
oh, and then that's it. I mean, yes, it's a learning experience, but at the end of the day, it is still a loss. It still stings, and there's not much you can do about that. Um, and obviously, you know, you came up short in the Dana White Contender Series fight. Um, obviously, it didn't go the way you wanted it to. So obviously, you had lost, but is there any possibility? Did they give you any reassurance that there's a possibility you could get called up in the future, or
Nope. Nope. They
nothing?
just, you know, they give you that L and they walk you out the door, and then you get to watch your opponent on the TV talking about how she got the contract, and you know, it fucking stings and it hurts, and that's okay. But I and I guess like this is like an overall thing because like this is just me. Like I
Mm.
don't look at that as something where like the whole like rug was swept on from underneath my feet and like that's the end of my world, you know?
Yeah.
I looked at it as like, oh, well, okay, fuck it. I gotta work harder. You know, I have to do more. I have to prove myself again. I gotta go out there. I have to defend my belt as the champion because I'm still the champion of the LFA, you know?
Absolutely.
Yeah, like you can't take that away from me. Like I earned that, you know, just
Yep.
like I earned my place to be there at the Dana White Contender Series. Like I didn't, you know, I wasn't a walk on. I wasn't somebody who marketed my way up there. Like, you know, I wasn't just like talking to people. Like I fucking earned that shit and I'll earn it
Absolutely.
again. So that's my personal mindset. You know, it's
Yeah.
like, okay, like, yeah, I came up short, but, and no, they didn't give me a guarantee like, oh, don't worry, like, you'll get your contract. It's okay. Nobody patted me on the back type of shit. Like, you just know, like, do you fucking want it or don't you? Because I know where I want to be and I know I'm willing to work for it.
You couldn't say it any better. But I mean, it's no secret that there's been a lot of successful fighters that have transitioned from LFA to UFC. Obviously, UFC being pretty much the biggest organization out there. You know, let's say like down the road, you have a bunch of title defenses, and they offer you a contract. Would you be open to that, or would you like to stay with LFA?
Yo, I'm jumping on that the second that they even mention it. Like, jump how high? Like,
Right.
you know, yeah, of course. The UFC is the goal, you know, and I love being in the LFA. I really do. But yeah, like, LFA is, you know, it's where I'm at, but UFC is where I'm going.
Absolutely. And how was your feeling when you won the title against Sam Hughes?
Whew. Let me tell you, it's a good feeling. It's a good feeling, you know. And every fight has been like a successful win. But when you go into championship rounds, you know, like that was one thing for me. I was like, okay, so 5 rounds, fuck, like that's like difficult mentally.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
feeling good into the fourth, man, there's nothing like it. You know, to win that title, you know, to know that I was the main event, title fight, went into championship rounds, crushed it, you
Hmm.
know, internally, like, hell yeah, that was a good feeling. That was a good feeling. That was definitely a chart topper.
Well, it's great to hear. And is there any news on the next victim, or what's the deal?
Right now, no. And I just, you know, I fought twice in 1 month.
Yep.
Like, that's a lot. It was like within 30 days, I fought twice. And even for the title fight, I only had a few weeks to get ready there, you
Oh
know?
my God.
Yeah. So it's like I had a few weeks, I fought 4 rounds, and then I had a few weeks, I fought another 3 rounds, like two extremely big fights, like the biggest that you can get for my level where I'm at. And moving forward, and it's like I took on some serious fucking challenges, you know. So right now I'm just getting back into training, you know, and I'm loving the process because I really love to train. And I'm enjoying it right now. I'm having fun. I'm growing, and I don't know what's on the horizon, but it's coming up soon. You know, title defense is what's next for the LFA.
Okay. And is there anyone that you would like to fight, or anyone you like to have a title fight against?
Whoever's on the list, you know, and because honestly, I believe that I belong in the UFC, so I should be able to fucking crush anybody in front of me. Period. So whatever, like.
That's that's good. And so obviously, you know, from what I'm hearing you say is you just are trying to tell everyone, just give me a fucking break, give me a breather, let me relax for let me train. Is that kind of what I'm getting from you here?
Yeah, like chill the fuck out, you guys. Like, like yes, I'm always down to fight, but let me do me. You know, like let me enjoy it again because it's hard when you're always like in a training camp. You know, I come from a jiu-jitsu competitive background where I was literally competing every other fucking week. You know,
Oh yeah,
like all around the world. Like, you know, I
yeah.
was in Canada 1 week and then I'm, you know, down in Mexico and then I'm over in Abu Dhabi and it's like fucking everywhere, like all around the US. And I know what that's like. Um, and I want to be more, I want to be smarter about the way that I fight MMA, you know? Like that was cool, like because jiu-jitsu don't fucking matter, you know, like you're fighting 7 times in a day, you know, 7 different matches or whatever that might be. You know, I was fighting my class plus open classes,
Hmm.
and you win, you lose. You know, I was a champion a lot, but I really wanna fucking dominate in MMA. You know, I don't want to just be somebody who's on the rosters. Like I wanna be one of the fucking best. I want to be the fucking best.
You want to be
So
here, and everyone is here. That's pretty much what you're trying to say.
yeah, Yeah,
Yeah.
like,
I guess
like,
if you
oh, I'm
if you
having a bad day, I'll still whip your fucking ass. Like,
there you go. You're gonna even get your ass even more whooped. So, but like, and I think that that's good that you say that because it's good that you're true to yourself. I mean, if you don't think that you can be the best, or if you don't think you're gonna win a fight, you shouldn't be fighting. I mean, I think there's nothing wrong with saying, yeah, you're gonna say you have a tough opponent, and you know it's gonna be a tough fight. But if you don't think you're gonna win, or if you don't think you can be the best at the top, if your mindset's not there, I don't think I don't think you should be fighting. I don't think anybody
100%.
should be fighting.
100%. Oh, absolutely. And that's what, Dana White always like, all these people are like, oh, yeah, I retired. Dana White's like, sure, all right, cool, get the fuck out of here. Like, you don't want to fight, you shouldn't be fighting. And that's not where my head is, like, if they called me up and said, like, hey, we have a fight opportunity, they know I'm in. But also, I want to know that I'm doing what I can to fucking train and be the best always. I want to be prepared.
Yeah.
I don't just want to be like fucking catching cards in the air. So, yeah. And I'm the champion right now, and I've earned that.
Yes, you have. And I'm looking forward to seeing your next title defense. And now I guess just kind of moving on with a couple more questions. I know that you got your training. Obviously you're sorry, something's just going on with my computer here. Sorry about that. Just the shit keeps popping up on my computer. Excuse me. Sorry. So obviously you're 31 now. So how many years of fighting do you think you could go for, or what's your future plans in life?
I'm a really young 31 though. Like I've got
Okay,
more.
we're gonna bounce back a couple years here.
Yeah, fuck that shit. Like
Numbers
I'm like
don't
a
mean anything.
solid 23 in my heart. Okay, so yeah, I think I got a lot of years left as a fighter, and I really do. Like, I take extremely good care of myself. I sleep, I eat well, I eat my vitamins. I don't drink, I don't fucking party, and I really care about my training. And I feel like I got a lot of years. I feel like I'm 31 now, but I could definitely fight until I'm 41. 100 fucking percent. DC didn't even start MMA until he was 31 years old. So
Yeah,
shit, I've already been fighting for all these fucking years. Like, I already have over 10 years of experience under my belt in MMA. Like, let's
absolutely.
go. I'm just getting started too. Like, I really feel like I'm just getting started. So,
Do you think that DC kind of opened up that idea of you can compete after your 40s? I mean, there's been other fighters that have competed at, like, I mean, Dan Henderson, 46 years old, still whooping ass. Like,
you
but do you
got
think
Leo
that
Lamisi,
DC
who I
really?
actually is one of my training partners. You got Anderson Silva, one of my training partners. Like, all of these
Yeah,
guys, like, they're fucking goats. I mean, GSP was just talking about how he's like, all right, fuck, if they really want me to fight, I guess I'll fight again. But, it's like, man, they're dominant. They're fucking dominant ass fighters,
absolutely.
Yeah, like, and I don't want to like run this bitch to the ground. Like, I'm extremely smart. I can do a lot of other things in my life. I really can. But right now, I'm so passionate about fighting that I really want to like engage in this and give this everything that I've got. And like, let's fucking go.
Well, that's good. Yeah, and I guess that kind of reminds me of pretty much one or two more questions for you. So the first one is, how do you balance your social or family life while training?
Well, that for me isn't hard because I do live in California,
Okay.
and all of my family is in Ohio. My sister's in Florida. She's my best fucking friend in the whole world. And it's like, I'll be on the road, unfortunately for LA traffic, I'll be on the road for an hour at a time. So that's when I take the time to catch up with them. I'll give them a
Hmm.
call, say hello, tell them how much I love them, talk about my day. That's not hard for me. I'm really good at staying connected with people. But and I take so much time for myself socially to decompress. I take time to hang out with friends and go to the beach and just chill in between training. I can train like 3 to 4 times a day, but there's so much more time in the day. Like, we all have the same 24 hours. It's, what are you doing with it? And
Absolutely.
I choose to live.
Exactly. It's like Arnold Schwarzenegger said. He's like, you have like 24 hours in your day. you learn to don't just say, I don't have time for this. I don't have time for this. I don't have time for training. I don't have time for family. I don't have time for friends. Well, no, you're in control of your own time. You're in control of how your life runs. If you decide to sit on your ass on the couch for 3.5 hours, you could have put that towards your training. And then the time that you could have been training, you could have been spending time with your family. So exactly, you're in control of your life at the end of the day.
Yep, absolutely.
And just one more for you. I know you get your training. Do you have a statement for your next potential opponent?
Bitch, look out. You know, I bitch, look out. I can't. I'm coming off of an L right now, you know, and I am still the fucking champ. So it's a danger zone for anybody who happens to be in that cage with me. I'm pissed. I'm hungry, and I'm on top of the world. So you know what I'm saying? Like it's not a good place for anyone who has to stand across from me right now. And yeah. So
Well,
that's that.
exactly. That's great to hear. Well, bitches, you better move out the way. The champ's coming. So.
It's coming through.
But thank you. I know that you're late for your training, but I do appreciate you taking the time to come on my podcast and talk a little bit about your career. I hope that we can do another one, maybe a little bit longer.
Yes.
But thank you again for your time.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. This is a dope one. So, and we'll catch up soon. I promise.
Alrighty.
All right. Have a great day.
Take care.